might sound like an idiot, but from a business model perspective, I saw a lot of good Italian kids go into a regular life, right? But the mob never adapted. So why do you think there wasn't more guys like you in that life, and why didn't they gravitate towards that?
Well, I think some of the old timers, the dads, tried to lead their sons in that direction. But what happened, you got to understand, 50s, 60s, 70s, right into, very early 80s when Giuliani started to go crazy in the Southern District of New York with the RICO law and the Bail Reform Act and the Sentencing Reform Act. Prior to that time, it was really the golden age of the mob in New York especially. So guys were flying pretty high and things were coming along pretty easy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, Giuliani comes around, and I have to attribute most of it to him and the Southern District of New York. And they started using these laws very effectively. They started to get high tech with their surveillance equipment, and they started to turn a lot of informants, guys into informants. So everything just kind of hit everybody pretty suddenly.
Yeah.
And the guys just didn't keep up with it. They didn't understand that, the government this time had all the tools and weapons, and they were coming down hard. And I think it just caught many of us too quick. And, but look, I know a lot of fathers that tried to put their son in the right direction. But, there is a very big attraction to that life. I mean, I've been out of the life 20 years now, and I travel all over the country and all over the world. And you cannot believe the fascination and intrigue with this life. I mean, I just was at Cambridge University in Cambridge, England.
Yeah.
And I was shocked when they called me to be one of their speakers because, Winston Churchill, Princess Diana, Ronald Reagan, and Michael Franzese. Figure that one out. But just to give you an idea, the guest that was there before me a week before was a big politician, and he drew 50 people. When I went, we drew 420 people. There was standing room only. They couldn't fit enough people in the room. And it's not that I'm a movie star, or it's not that I'm a celebrity, but it's the mob thing that brings them in the door because there was such intrigue, the questions and the response that we got. And I get this all over the world. Yeah. So there's an intrigue with that life. And it's really because of the media, because of the movies. And it affects a lot of people, even the sons and the daughters in some respects of guys that were in that life. It's unfortunate.
Wow, that's insane. And not to gloss over, but I want to expedite in terms of you obviously got out, you're still alive, you're talking to us. But let's talk about actually more important. What we should be talking about is now your relationship, as a minister and. What got you into it? What was that moment? And what's your message now, Mike?
Well, I want to be clear. I'm not a minister. I'm not a pastor.
Oh, forgive me, Mike.
I'm just a guy out there. Yeah, it's okay. A lot of people call me that. I mean, I'm not ordained, and I've been asked to be, but I don't think that's my calling in life.
Okay.
It's just I feel that God has given me an opportunity to be an encouragement to people all over the world. And I'm honestly more effective not being a pastor or a minister because then people can relate to just another guy. Maybe I have a different story that's a little different, but it's been extremely effective. I met a woman who's now my wife of 32 years. She was a young Christian girl that I met on a movie set. She was a dancer in a movie I was producing. And between her and her mom, who was a very strong woman of faith, they kind of turned my head around, introduced me to my faith, and after many, many years and a lot of struggles and 8 tough years in prison and contract on my life, and my dad disowning me for a time, and every kind of struggle that you could imagine and challenge, my faith really, really set in. And after a time, I believe God showed me what my purpose was in life. I didn't come into the ministry willingly. I didn't say, "Hey, I want to be a preacher, I want to serve God." It just kind of evolved into that when I started being asked to come and share my story. And so that's how it happened. So, now, I mean, look, like I say, I'm in a different church every weekend. I work with all the pro leagues. I'll be visiting the New England Patriots again next week to talk to the, I'm all over sports. I'm all over the NCAA with all our student athletes in various Division I schools around the country. I speak at churches. I do men's ministry. I'm in prisons. I'm just all over sharing the word that, you know, God has blessed me with in my life. And I've outlasted everybody. You know, Fortune magazine wrote a list of the 50 most powerful mob bosses in 1986. And I was a high-ranking guy on that list. And, you know, unfortunately, out of the list of 50, 47 of them are dead. 2 of them are doing life in prison. I'm the only one on the street, the only one alive and walking around to talk about what's happened in my life. So to say I've been blessed is an understatement.